Hi everyone. In this video, let's revise about some frequently asked questions in GATE Computer Science in the NET examination in TRB Polytechnic examination. So let's get into the video. So first question is match the terms. So on the left hand side, you have three terms: masquerade, phishing and hijacking. And on the right hand side, you have session is intercepted, one pretends to be someone else, and the third one is email misleads a user into confidential information. You have to match the terms along with their descriptions. Okay, so to match this, to find out the answer for this, let's learn what is the meaning of these three terms. First one is masquerade. What is the meaning of masquerade attackers? It is a type of attack where the attacker pretends to be an authorized user of a system. Okay, let's say in an organization, an employee within an organization or some outsider outside the organization, if he tries to use, he tries to steal the login IDs or the passwords, or he tries to bypass the authentication mechanism of the organization, and if he tries to pretend to be an authorized user of the system, then such types of attacks is called masquerade attacks. So primarily it is done by using stolen login IDs, passwords, or by bypassing the authentication mechanism. Okay, second type of attack is phishing attack. So in phishing attack, generally the term phishing is usually, though it may be linked with messages or emails, etc., it is usually used to be associated with emails. Okay, it usually occurs when an attacker who is masquerading as a trusted entity who he dupes a victim into opening an email or a message or a text message. Okay, here the recipient is usually tricked into clicking some link. So that link, if you click on that link, some malware may get installed into your system, or it may lead to freezing of your system as a part of your ransomware attack, etc. So usually phishing is a term which is associated with emails. Okay. The third one is hijacking. So usually hijacking is a term which is associated with sessions. Okay. It's a security attack on a user session over a protected network. And there are two common types of session hijacking. One is IP spoofing and the other one is man in the middle attack. So IP spoofing means that an attacker uses the source routed IP packets to insert commands into an active communication between two nodes on a network. Okay, the attacker will use the source routed IP packets and he will try to insert commands into an active communication between two nodes on a network. The other type of session hijacking is man in the middle attack. So here the attacker is also called as a sniffer. So he will try to observe the communication between two devices and he will try to collect the data which is transmitted. Okay. So based on all these descriptions of what we learned, so the masquerade is one pretends to be someone else. Phishing attack is email misleads a user into confidential information. And hijacking is session is intercepted. So that will be the right matching for this question. The next question is, which of the following is not specified in abstract data type? Now, this is a common question asked in data structures, and the options given are type, set of operations on the type, how type is implemented, and both A and B. So let's learn what is the meaning of an abstract data type. So generally, type means it's a collection of values. If you say Boolean data type, it consists of true and false values. If you take integer data type, it doesn't have any subparts in its values, but then you can have an operation like addition, which can be performed on the integer data type. So usually an abstract data type or an ADT is a specification of a data type within the language, and it is independent of the implementation. Okay. So the interface for the ADT is usually defined in terms of the type and the set of operations on the type. Okay, ADT means the type as well as the operations on the type. You don't specify the details of how the type is going to be implemented. The implementation details are hidden from the users. And generally, we use data structures in the implementation for the abstract data type. And data structure, we know that it usually refers to the organization of the data stored inside the computer's main memory. So ADT means it defines the type as well as the operations. It does not specify the implementation details of the type. So coming back to our question, which of the following is not specified in abstract data type? The type will be specified in abstract data type. Set of operations on the type will also be specified, but how the type is implemented is not going to be specified. So the right answer for this question will be D, A and B. So which is not specified in abstract data type is, in abstract data type, how the type is implemented is not specified. Which is specified? The type and the set of operations on the type is specified. In the question they have asked which is not specified. The answer is option C, how the type is implemented. Implementation details are not specified in an abstract data type. So next question is, which is correct regarding split trees? This is again a question in data structures, and split trees is a very important topic commonly asked in all these examinations, whether it is GATE or NET or NIE, LIT or in TRB Polytechnic exam. Okay, so let's see, some options are given. Let's see what is the meaning of a split tree. So like avial trees or red-black trees, split tree is a self-balancing binary search tree. Okay, so the common idea of split tree is the recently accessed item will always be brought or moved to the root of the tree. So the recently searched item will always be accessible in big O of one time. Okay, so it's not one thing which has to be remembered is it's not a separate different data structure, unique data structure. It will just re-implement the binary search tree operations of insert, delete and search operations. So the main why it has to re-implement the already implemented operations of binary search tree is it avoids the worst case linear time behavior of the standard binary search tree operations. In standard binary search tree, you have the worst case linear time behavior. So we need to guarantee the time complexity of those operations. So that's why we revise those operations in a split tree. Okay, so but then no single operation on the split tree is guaranteed to be efficient. The main aim is when you do a series of operations, it will avoid the worst case linear time behavior of the standard binary search tree operations, but no single operation can be guaranteed to be efficient. And another thing is when you have a series of M operations, it's going to take big O of M log n time for a tree of n nodes. Okay, if you have a tree with n nodes in the split tree, it's going to take big O of M log n time, where M is the number of operations and n is the number of nodes, where M is greater than or equal to n. But if you take a single insert or search operation, it's going to take big O of n time. So this is according to the book on data structures and algorithms. Okay. So split tree is not guaranteed to be height balanced. So this is a desirable performance guarantee for any search tree structure. So if you take any M operations, it is going to take a total of big O of M log n time, where n is the number of nodes. Okay, now coming back to our question, which is correct regarding split trees? Every single operation is guaranteed to be efficient. No, this is false. Every single operation is not guaranteed to be efficient in a split tree. Second one, it avoids the worst case linear time behavior of binary search tree operations. Yes, for a series of operations which is performed, split trees are able to avoid the worst case linear time behavior of BST operations. So B is right. C is guaranteed that a series of M operations will take big O of M log M time. So here they say M represents operations as well as the number of nodes. So in that case, a series of M operations taking big O of M log M time is true. So the right answer for this is both B and C are correct. So answer would be D. Moving on to our next question. So apart from that, these are the rotations. We perform an operation called as splaying in split trees. So splaying is nothing but, as I told you, whatever operation you perform, the recently accessed element will always be moved to the root, and we perform these types of rotations to move that recently accessed element to the root. So we have different types of rotations like zig rotation. In zig rotation, the current element is moved one position to the right. In zag rotation, the current element is always moved one position to the left. In zig-zag rotation, the current element is always moved two positions to the right, and so on. Okay, zig means right and zag means left. These are the different types of rotations performed in the splay trees. In case this questions may also be asked in the examination. And the next question is, between any two vertices there exists a path, then the graph is said to be strongly connected, weakly connected, connected, and all of the above. So strongly connected and weakly connected are terminologies which are associated with directed graphs. Okay, connected is a terminology which is usually associated with undirected graphs. So here we have the definitions. What is the meaning of strongly connected? A directed graph is strongly connected if there is a path from A to B and from B to A whenever A and B are vertices in the graph. Let's say you have two vertices. See this diagram. This is an example of a strongly connected graph. If you take two vertices A and B, you have a path from A to B as well as from B to A also. If you want to move from A to B, you have a path. If you want to move from B to A, you can go from B to C, C to D, and D to A. So you have a path. If you take B and C, you have a path from B to C, and from C to B also, you can go C to D, D to A, and A to B. So from C to B also, you have a path. So let's say like that, if you have a path from every vertex, every distinct pair of vertices in the graph, then that graph is called a strongly connected graph, which is applicable to directed graphs. Okay. You have another terminology called weakly connected. A directed graph is called weakly connected if there is a path between every two vertices in the underlying undirected graph. See here, you have a path from A to B, you have a path from B to C. If you take C to D, there is no path. But if you take the underlying undirected graph, even though you don't have a path from C to D, you have a path from D to C. So between the two vertices D and C, you have a path if this graph is not directed. If this graph is not directed, I can say that D to C is the path which connects the vertices D and C. Similarly, A to D is the path which connects the vertices A and D. So you have a path between all the vertices in the graph. So this type of graph is called weakly connected graph. The third one is connectedness. When do you say an undirected graph is connected is if there is a path between every pair of distinct vertices in the graph. See here, there is a path from A to B, there is a path from B to C, there is a path from C to D, there is a path from D to A. So between every pair of distinct vertices, you have a path. But see here, you don't have a path from A to D, you don't have a path from B to C. So this is a disconnected graph and this is a connected graph. Now this is the meaning of all these terminologies: strongly connected, weakly connected, and connectedness. Now coming back to our question, between any two vertices there exists a path. Now they have not given in the question whether it's a directed graph or an undirected graph. So if there is a path between any two vertices, you can call it as a strongly connected or weakly connected or connected also. So the right answer would be all of the above. So that's all with the contents of this video. So if you found this video useful, do like the video, share your comments, and subscribe to the channel for more such useful videos. See you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye.